everyone, Joe March here, also known as Psycho Sorcerer, and what is this channel? That's what we're here to answer in this video. A lot of people, when they ask this, compare this channel to my old channel, so we'll have to talk about that first. Back in 2014, 2015, 2016, I had a channel originally called Psycho Sorcerer, later called The Grand Infinity. It was an occult-focused channel. It talked about different things in the occult, how to get engaged and involved in the occult community back when the occult community wasn't big. That channel got huge, over 20,000 subscribers. I still have people that come up to me that say I influenced their decisions to get involved in this stuff. Sometimes that's really heartwarming because the person is telling me a story about how that changed their life in a good way. Sometimes it's not heartwarming because people are talking about how that changed their lives in a bad way. So I guess for a time, I was an influencer. But this channel is not that channel. So does that mean that this channel doesn't talk about the occult? Of course not. But now, I just talk about my experiences in the occult whenever I talk about the occult. And if you're interested in that, and that's why you've looked me up, and that's why you've come here, then you can find that in my playlist under Psycho Sorcerer 2.0. Right now, the channel may or may not be called Psycho Sorcerer 2.0 because I changed the name of this channel over and over again. When I first came back on YouTube with this channel, I just called it Joseph March, my name. I figured it was going to be a channel where I do whatever the fuck I want, and have my name on it, and it's just, hey, if you were interested in hearing what's up with me, that's what this is about. Then after some time, I decided to take a break, but instead of shutting down this channel like I did with my old one, what I did was I made it an archive channel, and I called it Psycho Sorcerer Archive, because at that point I decided to take all my old videos from the old channels that had disappeared, put them into the playlist section of this channel so that people could go watch the old stuff if they wanted by going into my playlist and rewatching the old Psycho Sorcerer stuff, or they could watch my new stuff. But what was my new stuff? My new stuff was my cringy ass music, which I'm still gonna do, and it was my story stuff, and it was whatever rants I wanted to do. It was whatever silly shit came into my mind. It was just me being me on the camera. So then it changed to be Psycho Sorcerer 2.0 because I had an idea. I got inspired to come back and tell everybody what my practice turned into after all these years and talk about the occult again. And as I said, if that's what you're here for, you can find that in the playlist section as well under Psycho Sorcerer 2.0. Is this channel still called Psycho Sorcerer 2.0 when you're watching this? That's going to change depending on when you're watching this. But anyway, for now, at least when I'm recording this, it is. But am I only going to talk about my new experiences in the occult? No. So, yes, I'm going to keep talking about that stuff, and when I do, it'll get added to the Psycho Sorcerer 2.0 playlist, and it'll obviously come up here as something to watch, but I'm also going to go back to doing some songs. I'm going to go do some silly stuff, because at the end of the day, this is my channel, and I does whatever the fuck I want. Now, people will say, why do you do this? You only have like 600 subscribers now instead of 20,000. I am happier with the 600 subscribers than I ever was with the 20,000 subscribers. And we get back to the idea of influence, which we were talking about before. So while it makes me feel good to think that I influence some people in a positive way, I want you guys to understand that the audience of my old channel influenced me probably more than I influenced anybody else. My direction in the occult swayed throughout that channel because the people that were my audience kept on requesting this or that, and I would research that, and I would get into this. And so really the audience directed where that channel eventually went. So people who were influenced by me on the old channel were really influenced by my growing audience of people who were in the occult community. And I think that's cool for the time period it was in because that community was small. But now that would be completely untenable. Also, part of why I got out of that channel was because I felt like I was influencing people in the wrong direction, but it was also because I didn't really have control over what I was putting out there anymore. I had kind of gotten wrapped up in trying to produce the type of content that I thought my audience wanted to see, and so I was starting to be led by the audience and influenced by them in the direction of everything I put out. Now, it obviously worked. I obviously got popular, and I think that a lot of people on YouTube who are popular fall into this trap. They are directed by the audience, and they slowly but surely change into this sort of amalgamation of what the audience wants them to be. With my new channel, none of that shit is happening. I have a small group of people who watch my channel. In addition to saying like, oh, there's 600 subscribers now, there's only like 100, maybe 200 people that constantly watch my videos. Those people watch because they like me, and a lot of them I've gotten to know. I like them. It's kind of like just friends hanging out, which is cool, and I like that a lot better. Everybody on here by now knows that if you give me some actual criticism, I will look into it. but I'm no longer getting directed by whatever anybody else says. I don't do videos on a regular schedule. I sometimes do a song. I sometimes do a skit. I sometimes am serious as a heart attack about some occult phenomenon shit. I'm all over the fucking board. But that's me. That's what it's like if you were hanging out with me any given day of the week. That's my random ass weird personality. And that's what you get if you watch this channel. Now, you don't have to watch everything. If you're someone who only likes one part of the content, you can just see the other part is up and be like, I'm not going to watch that video. And I think that's fine. Because, again, I'm not chasing any kind of, like, greater following. If the following comes, great. But I don't have the desire to be directed by an audience to try to make content that's going to be popular or any of that stuff. So why bring this up? First of all, so people know what they're getting into on this channel, and I'll put this as like the main thing that pops up when you come to the channel. So people be like, oh man, this is an example of his content. How come it sucks? How come it's him bitching about how he's not going to do shit? Yeah, welcome to my channel, asshole. Second reason is because a lot of people ask me for my advice on YouTube. They say, oh man, you had this successful YouTube thing going on in the occult. I'm an occultist. I want to do something like that. What do you suggest? And the problem is that I suggest that you don't do the things that made me successful, because in the end, it wiped my ass out and it kind of directed me away from my own path. So I don't have good advice for people who want to know how to do YouTube. I could tell you some pitfalls to watch out for, but honestly, I've decided that I'd rather work a normal job and not try to make it big on this thing and use this as just kind of a way to self-express, to create, to speak out about things that I don't get to talk about to everyone in the world, but that to this small group of people who I've cultivated over the years, I get to keep a relationship with. And that's what this is for me. So if that's the type of thing you want to do on YouTube, I could talk about that. But if you're trying to make it big, just be careful. You are going to get influenced by the viewers as much, if not more so, than you influence them. Keep that in mind. And it's going to change you, for better or worse. Now, I think in the long run, it was better for me that I went through all these different things and learned all this different stuff. But I think at the time, it scatterbrained the shit out of me, and it did cause me some problems. So when next time you're watching a YouTuber and thinking they got all their shit together, because look how many people listen to them, they must have it correct. Remember that a lot of times the YouTuber is almost like a representation of the bulk of their audience. They're not really the one pulling the strings. They're the one being the mouthpiece for the bulk of their audience. And if you look at it that way, I think you have a much better understanding of what's going on YouTube. Now, this video was supposed to be an intro to the channel that I could put up, but I already got back into this philosophical shit, and you guys will notice this is something I do on this channel all the time anyway, because this channel's about what I want. Is this supposed to be this long for a video that's going to be the intro to the channel? No. Did I make it this long anyway? Yes. Did it get overly technical in parts? Did it get philosophical in other parts? Did I rant about nothing in another part? Yes. This is my channel. And if you don't understand it from this video, then the only way you're going to understand it is to consume every piece of content I've ever made. Watch it. Honestly, I don't care if you watch it all. A lot of times people will address me and say, hey, Joe, hey, Psycho Sorcerer, you remember that video where you said this? And a lot of times I remember, but about like 20% of the time I'll be like, did I say that? Because sometimes I just record shit when I'm going stream of consciousness, I put it online, and that's it. That was my experience with it. Somebody else watched it and thought about it for a while. They were like, oh my God, what he said, it touched me. And then when I'm like, I don't remember that, they're like, what the fuck? Never meet your heroes. That's what I'm trying to say. Nah, I don't think I'm anybody's hero. I'm probably somebody's hero out there and I just don't know it. And if I am, I'm glad that I made you feel good about that. But please, don't take it too far, because I likes to eat and live and be alive. I don't need no stalkers or shit. I got a family and shit. I don't know why I pointed back here like this crazy ass alligator was part of my family, but I got an alligator that's wearing a dinosaur mask. This is what you get. This is the premium content you get here. What about Psycho Sorcerer 2.0? People are going to ask me. I just did 9 videos in a row at the recording of this about Psycho Sorcerer 2.0, which is my current takes on all the occult, going over everything. I think it's been fun. I think it's been great. I definitely want to make more of them. I have at least one more video in that series that I have plans for already. But I also be happy saying, like, I got a 10-part series, which is what it'll be after the next video. I have a 10-point series that explains what I'm doing in the occult and my thoughts on it. And I can direct people there. I would be happy for it to end there if there's not more content to make. And if there is more content, I'll just make it as I come up with it. Now, why do I say that? Why am I not like, oh, I'm going to go out and try to research other occults? Because that's not what I'm about anymore. I have my practice I'm doing now. It will change in the future, so there will be a point where I'm like, oh, here's some new info as my shit changes. But until there's something valuable to talk about, I wouldn't want to add to the series with anything that's less valuable than what's in there now. So, we got one more video in that series for sure. If it sparks an idea for another one, we'll have another one. And if not, it may be a long time before I put another one in there, just depending on if somebody's question sparks something that seems video worthy, or if I come up with some experience that I want to talk about. They'll get added to that playlist as they come along. In the meantime, I'm not just going to go hiatus again like I did last time. I think I needed a big break, but I feel like I like streaming again. I'm enjoying this, and I like this streamer setup where I got the dark screen over here, so I might do some reaction shit, I might do some video game shit, I might do some tabletop shit, I might do some more songs, I might take you behind the scenes while I work on a song. I got ideas for all kinds of creative shit that we can do if you're someone who just wants to watch me bloviate. Which some of you are, and that's awesome, because I like to do that. And if that's not interesting to you, don't get pissed off, don't be like, oh no, I thought he was gonna do just occult again. Just remember, stay subscribed. When a video pops up, if it says Joe March plays this new RPG, you could be like, that's not my jam. And if it says Joe March talks about astral travel, you'd be like, that's one of the ones I want to watch. It's just all on here. I'm not doing like 6 channels, one's for gaming, one's for this, one's for... It's all on here. And it's all crazy. Damn, did I miss my chance to say it's all psycho and then like tie it back into Psycho Sorcerer? Fuck it, I'm leaving it in that way. That's this channel. If you don't like it, I don't care. Oh, and whether I'm talking about the occult or whether I'm talking about anything else, I still always end all the videos the same way by telling you guys, safe travels.